What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ho to Husband podcast. I'm your host, Terry DeRon. I got both of my co-hosts with me tonight. I got my man, Jay Babo. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Looking forward to get to this great episode here. But if you haven't already, make sure you're following us on TikTok as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at Hold a Husband Podcast. Also, want to give a shout out to one of our followers, my man Mike Van Horn. Man, he's always supporting, on YouTube and on Podbean, man. So me and him actually go back into the service, man. So he's always supporting what we do. So salute to you, brother.
All right, that's what's up, man. We got my man SD back. We missed you last week, man. What's been going on?
Nothing, man. Chilling, doing what I do and working hard. That's it. So I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold a Husband podcast on Cash App and PayPal.
I want to remind all y'all that y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. We got an interesting episode tonight. Tonight's episode is titled We're Not Enemies. And we really just wanted to break down and discuss the man versus woman dynamic that comes up anytime we try to have a discussion about dating or relationships. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about the trauma that seems to come up with those conversations. But y'all know how we do around here, man. We like to discuss stuff that we've seen trending or on our timelines. So this first video is from the late great Godfather Kevin Samuels, and he's having a discussion with one of his followers about co-parenting decisions when it comes to raising a boy. Let's take a listen.
Let's say you and I were married, okay? Mm-hmm. Kevin Jr. I'm putting Kevin in martial arts. You may say, I don't want my son to get beat up on. But see, I know better than you because, one, my initial nature as a father is to discipline. Your initial nature as a woman is to nurture. When a kid falls down, your first nature is to go kiss the boo-boo away. My first nature is get up. Now, if that was our biological child, there's going to be a time when you believe you're right as a mother. All your instincts are going to say you're right. But I'm the father, and I'm going to say, my biological instincts are going to say, right, which way do we go? Your way or my way? Mm-hmm. Which way? Can only go one way.
I would try to go my way more. I would fight.
Then buy a dog and die alone.
I wasn't surprised when I saw that reaction, because from the women that I've talked to and just observing women, it seems like most women just feel like they're better parents than men in general. And I can understand why they
carry the baby.
Yeah, because they carry the baby. They have to deal with that and the nurturing and all that. And a lot of men don't hold up their end of the bargain once the child is born or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I can get it, but that doesn't really represent reality. When the fathers that I know that are single dads or dads that are actively in their child's lives, they do just everything: change diapers, bottles. You know what I'm saying? Taking the kid from here to there. Guys are just as involved as the mothers in a lot of cases. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this conversation about women raising men, a lot of women don't like the fact that they're not able to teach a man how to be a full man. They can teach him how to be an adult, but they raise them feminized, weak,
or to not commit crimes, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it that women feel like they're the better parent, like I said, because they carry the child for 9 months. So they feel like, hey, because you hear it a lot of times when you talk to women, especially single women with kids, fathers and stuff like that. They say, my child. Or my this or my that, because they carried the child and they think that they are the better parents. Even the courts, the father has to fight to see his child in a divorce or out of wedlock. The father is the one that has to get a lawyer and fight to even see his kid, because the woman automatically gets these here particular rights and different things. But when you actually get into the statistics of things, right? It is proven through the statistics that the father is the better parent when they are single parents, or if they are in the household. The same successes that a child in a two-parent household has, they have about the same rate in a single father household. But when you go to a single mom household, over 70% of men in jail were raised in a single mother household. 70% of dropouts, 70% of physical abusers or domestic violence, 70% of alcoholics and rapists and things like that when it comes to women. All of these things are statistically proven. And that's why men are so important when it comes to boys. Because like Terry, like you said, moms only know one thing, and that's to nurture and be feminine. And kids, y'all heard this.
See, that's the not necessarily, because we talk all the time about women exerting masculine energy. Yeah, but what happens when they're raising a boy? With the thing that I always say is they have to have men involved in the boy's life. He has to play sports. He has to have a coach. He has to have an uncle. He has to go spend the night at his cousin's. He has to be around a man that he trusts and has a real relationship with in order for him to be able to fully become a man, in my opinion. But what happens a lot of times is women will raise him to do things how they think men should do it. And I'm going to raise my man to be a perfect gentleman. And like that, they feel like they're impressed if they can raise a boy that her and her friends will be impressed by. But he's going to struggle to get respected by other men.
But that's still what? That's still, more times than not, it's still feminine, because the mindset, the nurturing, and all of that stuff is still what's guiding her decisions for him to be a gentleman. Now, be a gentleman is one thing, but the emotional aspect that comes with being a feminine woman is what I'm talking about, because that's what drives these guys to react more off of emotions and go to jail and do these here different things, because they soak that in as a kid. They like a sponge, and they soak up the feminine things and the feminine ways from a woman, because that's all they see every day, day in and day out. So that's what I'm talking about.
Right. Not only that, being around their mother, like, they see their mother, their grandma react emotionally, so that's all they know is how to react to stuff emotionally, as opposed to reacting to something with a level of logic there. But I feel like when it comes to co-parenting, you got to be on the same page. You and the person that you're with, whether you're married or not, y'all got to be on the same page. Otherwise, you're gonna have a hard time there. Question for both of you fellas, since you guys are both fathers here, have you ever had problems, SD, with the mother of your child, or Terry, with your wife when it came to raising your children? Have you ever ran into any problems? Or trying to get on the same page?
There are differences. I only got a daughter, so I lean towards my wife because she's a girl. But it would be the same way if we had a son. I'd have like the main say in how things go. And it's the opposite, since I have a girl. My wife does have to tell me sometimes when I'm being too hard, or, she has to come in and do play the good cop type role. Sometimes I can, I don't get mad that often, but when I do, I can get animated and all that. What about you, SD?
Well, for me, because I'm in a unique situation, right? So with my son's mom, man, we have a great co-parenting relationship. And what she does, because it was sometimes when he was younger and did things where she overreacted with his punishment or certain things. So now if he does something, which is rare because my boy is really good, she'll call me and say, hey, this is what happened. How do you think I should handle it? Because you the man, and you know how, to deal with boys and this, that. But she do that because I respect her. I respect her and I handle my business as a man. So therefore, she knows what type of man I am, right? And so she like, hey, you rear this part of it because I don't know nothing about being a boy. All I know about is being a girl. So a lot of times the emotional overreaction is what causes boys to be overly feminine. And you'll see boys do that. And then you ever seen a kid or a little boy and they react a certain way to something, and as a guy, you be like, oh,
mannerisms. Yeah.
He around his mama too much. And so
the little boy that's in the beauty shop type vibe.
Yeah. And with me and my son's mom, man, we have a great communication as far as what goes on with my son, to the point where my son is like, yo, I ain't going to.
Man, we need to do an episode about that, like the co-parenting, because I've never had to do it, but I've been having discussions with some of my partners, and that is a lot more difficult or a lot easier said than done. It's rare to hear a situation like you described where a woman would defer to a man's judgment, because it seems like even we see it on our pages, like women think they know more about men than men. They'll argue and try to tell me I don't know what men think and feel. Like, it's like, man, I've been a man for 43 years. You know what I mean? Like, so when it comes to what boys experience and what's better to prepare them for manhood, a lot of women are clueless. You know, and they take offense when you.
I mean, we would be clueless with a little girl as a man. Like,
but the difference is we wouldn't take offense to it. If somebody was telling us like, hey, you that's your daughter, we would already know to have her in girl stuff, to have women around her, etc.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. But I just wanted to say that because it don't just apply to women or boys, but since that's what we're talking about because of the video, it applies to men with little girls too, man. It's tough to kind of reinvent yourself and how you are naturally, to try to teach a little person to be something that you're naturally not. It is what it is. So it's best to, especially with boys, divert to the man, because later on in that video, he's like, hey, you will ruin a boy, and you will, the more you baby him, because that's what women want to do. He said, he falls and you want to kiss the boo-boo, right? You want to baby him and do these here things. Well, a lot of moms we see do that to boys that's 17. They won't let him do certain things. They won't let him do this or that. And he becomes a grown man that's still deferring to his mom every time something happens, because he's not used to handling his own, but he used to being coddled. And women out here hate men like that.
Despise them.
They can't stand men like that. So it's one of those things, man, that women have to make a conscious effort in to try to get a male figure. If they have a deadbeat, which we don't respect on the Hold the Husband podcast, if they have a deadbeat, to try to find a male figure for your sons to be around, to kind of mentor him and guide him into being the man you actually want him to be, not the man that you won't date once you get older.
Right. All right, man, let's keep things rolling. This next video, I saw this going viral, is a woman having an argument or a discussion with her man about why she's refusing to sign the prenuptial agreement. Let's take a listen.
You really not gonna sign a prenup?
No, I'm not signing no prenup. What you got is what I got.
Okay, but I don't understand, why would you not want to sign? Basically, our love is real.
Your money is my money. Simple as that.
Okay, why are we going straight to the money? It don't have any. All I'm doing is my lawyers are telling me that I have to protect myself, and it's not from you, but it's just
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Everything that you bring in the house, is mine too.
Nah, because I mean, what did you come with? What did you come with that you deserve to think you just don't like? Like, this is for our own protection. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what you say. It's my money too. Simple as that.
But see, the lawyer said that's what you was gonna do, though. They were saying you was not.
No, he didn't.
So what's the point of you not signing the prenup?
The money that you bring home is mine too. Simple as that. End the conversation.
That's crazy. So I guess there ain't gonna be no wedding then.
Whatever. It's gonna be a wedding.
Ladies, you cannot force a man to marry you.
You can't.
Let's start that. You cannot force it. But if this dude ends up marrying this chick, because I'm already getting sent vibes because the fact that you even discussing marriage with a woman like this, a woman that does not give a damn about your opinion, your perspective, or protecting you and your assets. But whenever we have this discussion about prenups, women go crazy. Why are you planning on divorcing? Why are you thinking about all these type of things? But the only logical reason I can come up with for a person to decline signing a prenup is if they know that they could get more without it. Because you get to, it's not like it's somebody just forced you to sign something. You collaborate on what you think, what you want to put in it, what's fair, what's reasonable, whatnot. And so women can walk away with millions or a lavish lifestyle if they sign a prenup. So I don't see why so many of them are against it.
Yeah, man. You know what? A prenup to me is like car insurance.
Exactly.
You buy it, right? You don't hope you get into a car accident, but just in case you do, you got backup here, right?
Right.
Cool. Same thing to me as far as a prenup goes, just in case things don't go right, because this is the facts of it right here. You either, as whoever the breadwinner is, it could be the woman or it could be the man. You either gonna go off of your prenup that you came up with, things that you okay with, or you gonna go off the state's prenup. Because it's still a prenup no matter how you look at it. The states say, hey, you got these assets, you got to split them 50-50. You got to give her this and you got to give her that 50. That's a prenup. It's just in the divorce decree through the state. They're the ones that decide the prenup instead of your own, where you say, hey, you get to leave with your bags that you came with.
Some states are harsh, man. Some states are really brutal. I don't understand why divorce law is so unfair like that. Like, how did things? It doesn't seem like it's that difficult to come up with a resolution where both people can survive and maintain afterward.
I think that in today's day, they came up with those because back in the day, women weren't able to work. Women wasn't in the workforce like that. So if they husbands decided to leave and go with the mistress, now the woman is just sitting out there naked and ain't got nothing. So I think that's why the actual laws
that makes sense.
are geared to
women.
Yeah, but now with women making more money, those laws, and doing their own thing, those laws should be they should be updated. Like a lot of other things get updated with the times or whatever. So
like paternity testing should be mandatory at birth. I
agree.
Yeah.
We need to evolve the society. But what are your thoughts on a prenup, Jay?
It seems like discussing even a prenup seems so taboo. But it's crazy. A lot of women that are so against prenup, a lot of them ain't even married. The ones that's so against signing a prenup, from what I see.
Yeah. It's stupid. Like they'll actually pass up a situation to the most famous one I could think of was Steven Jackson.
Yeah,
that video. If you Google the Steven Jackson
on YouTube.
But this woman was going to marry a millionaire. Was going to get to have all the luxuries that come with living in a mansion and flying and doing all these type of things. But she tried to pull a finesse move and refused to sign the prenuptial agreement the night before the wedding. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he ends up losing hundreds of thousands of dollars because he, like a man, stood on it and ended the relationship. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of from a logical perspective.
Yeah.
Exactly. A prenup is just this. You're safeguarding your assets just in case you get a book. Like SD said, it's no different from insurance. Nobody goes and gets insurance and says, well, are you planning to get in an accident? No one gets insurance because they're planning to get in an accident. So why should it be any different here for a prenup when you get married?
Yeah, and as far as that video goes, I wouldn't even got that far with Shorty. I wouldn't even got that far with her. With an attitude like that, you can't hide it. She like, your money is my money, and it's this and that. I don't care what you say. Like the attitude and the things that's coming out her mouth.
Entitlement.
That she
is I wish somebody would tell me that the money I earn is their money. Like,
what?
No, I'm willing to use my money to provide for our lifestyle, but it's not your money. It's definitely my. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man,
I don't see how guys date chicks like that.
If y'all married, to me, that's different at that particular point. But the attitude that I'm just saying, like, when if something happened, they gonna say, all right, this is y'all money, so we gonna split up y'all money. That's the way it's gonna go. So to me, it is y'all money at that point. But her attitude is what turns me off from all of that. Like, she wouldn't have made it that far with me. I mean, she just talked about
imagine what it's like to have any other conflicts with her, or to have any other conflict. Do you think she compromises? Like, do you think this is the type of woman that is conducive to a healthy relationship? Hell no.
Not at all.
So I mean, she didn't even say, all right, well, let's talk about what's in it. Let's see what you know, why do you feel this way? Or talk to me about it, and let's do that. No, she's shutting it down. Like, nope, the money you bring in here is my money. Like, okay, cool. And he say, oh, it ain't gonna be a wedding. And if you're a real man and you stand on your stuff and you say something like that, it ain't gonna be a wedding.
But the fact that you have to threaten that in itself,
he should have left right then.
Exactly. It shouldn't even be a discussion. It's like when women, a woman could be dealing with a man that's doing some crazy stuff that they view as a deal breaker, but they want to sit and talk to him about it. Like, what do you expect them to say? Like, of course he's gonna say or do whatever to get you to agree to stay with him or come back to the relationship. And it's the same type of thing. Like, okay, so if he really cancels the wedding, all she's gonna do is say, "Yeah, I'll sign a prenup." You know what I'm saying? Like, she wants the bag. But that type of short-term decision making, you focus on picking up $1 and you pass up 100. You know what I'm saying? Like,
makes no sense.
They got ways around that too. You know, like Dr. Dre's wife, they'll say, "Hey, I signed it under duress."
But
I was under duress.
But the thing,
they let it fly.
Yeah, with Dr. Dre's because they got married in California, and California has pretty strict marriage laws, and you can actually contest the will in California.
Yeah, but you know what I heard a couple of days ago? In Florida, if you stay married for 10 years, the woman will get spousal support for the rest of her life from you.
Wow.
If you stay married for 10 years. Yeah. I just heard that. I was like, wow. She'll get alimony, and then if you got a pension, she'll get a part of your pension where you paying her spousal support until somebody die.
That's insane.
Damn, bro.
Hey, they incentivized to leave. Women are incentivized to leave relationships when they are not happy anymore. That happy can be anything. And we know how women's feelings are, a lot of women. Right? Their feelings change with the weather, depending on their mood and how they feel, or something make them feel this type of way. Man, listen, it's tough out here, and I don't blame any man. Me personally, if I get married, there's going to be some paperwork getting signed first. Because I have to be able to protect what I have before you got here.
Facts. All right, man. Look like we up against the clock. We about to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting into tonight's topic. We're not enemies. We're going to be discussing the men versus women battle that comes up every time we try to discuss relationships. Y'all are tuned into the How to Husband podcast, and we'll be back in a moment. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the How to Husband podcast. We got our guest on for tonight. We got my man Tripp Fontane on the show. What's going on, bro?
What's happening, man? Honored to be here.
We appreciate you taking the time to come chop it up with us, man. We like to have healthy discussions with guys that know how to articulate themselves. Before we get into the discussion, man, can you let our audience know a little bit about you, your background, your age, your dating status, etc., so they can know where you're coming from?
For sure. Tripp Fontane. 32 years old, man, native of West Dayton, Ohio, now called Columbus home. I'm a poet, educator, and community advocate.
That's what's up, man. Like I said, I follow you on the gram, so I'll be catching you dropping knowledge and spitting game. So I appreciate you putting forth the effort to try to improve relationships. The first question that I wanted to ask you is, why do you think relationship discussions, whether they be online, in person, etc., bring up so much toxic energy, and it becomes like a man versus women thing?
I think that's the next place we get to address the flaw in relationship, right? A lot of us get messed up at home, but you don't address your family, right? We're not taught to do that. You kind of taught to suppress what happens in the home and just appreciate your family for being your family. And then it doesn't actually come out that you didn't receive proper tools and proper viewpoints and things like that until your next intimate relationship with the opposite sex, you know what I'm saying? And that's usually somebody's romantic relationship. And so I think the man-woman dynamic isn't just fractured in romantic relationship, it's messed up in general. It's just, again, the only place we really intimate enough to have those discussions a lot of times is romance. So when you take that drama, when you take that pain and everybody's biased, it's always going to start a large conversation because everybody, you know, got their bags and opinions and all that.
Yeah, emotional. I mean,
exactly.
It's like you hear somebody and say they got mommy issues or daddy issues or something like that, but it's playing out into your relationship because you might want your girl to call you daddy or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something like that. You know, whatever the case. You know, you want your girl to act like your mom in some cases or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you don't show affection quite right because your mom didn't show love and affection like that. So now in a relationship, you hard, you tough to your girl, and your girl like, man, what's wrong with this dude? He emotionally unavailable. It's from the home.
Yep.
So
I never even really thought about it like that because we talk about it all the time. I know, you know, like I put up a post on my page where I talked about daddy issues. And I put the things that absent dad, you know, a woman that's just missing her dad or wishing she had a dad. And then you have the dad that's over the top. You're a princess. You can have anything you want. You can, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that ain't helping either. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now she's an unreasonable woman. Now she can't compromise. Now she don't have a realistic perspective that her shit does stink. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's just as problematic as being absent. But I don't know. I guess I thought it was just like it seemed like social media, no matter what the conversation is, it brings up the most toxic version of it. And so it seemed like that's what you see in the comments and all that. What would you have to add, Jay?
I'll just say, they say, you're trying to bring up this gender war stuff. At any time you're critiquing it, that's what you have a lot of times.
Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. It's not a gender war until women are being talked about. When it's just the men, it's they're all right with it then. Like, yo, hey, yeah, that's right. Say it loud for the people in the back.
You know what's crazy? I just talked about that. I had just posted like a clip about that because when we was in Philly, man, like I had actually got offended because it turned into I don't know if y'all cuss on here like that. I'm gonna just
go ahead.
Okay, it kind of turned into a fuck them niggas conversation, and really? Black men need to step up. And I'm like, hey, the stats say we doing better than we've ever been. And when we get to saying this same thing, because the crazy part, Mr. Lego was actually on point most of the tour. And he was hitting them with some facts, and it's all types of boos and people feeling some type of way. But when we start going in on the men, the crowd was going crazy. I'm talking about people standing to their feet, and I'm like, hey, bro.
Wow.
I know some of this stuff is just pettiness, but how come the ball can volley one way and not the other? Like what's with the one-sided critique?
You know what's funny? I was gonna say this. I remember there was this thing that was saying that black women out-earn black men, and then And Steve, I think the next day you posted a stat from Black was it Black Demographics, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
posted from Department of Labor also.
Yes, and yo, those columns, they started moving the goalposts. They were like, well, you're not counting business owners, you're not counting this, you're not counting that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason though that women have such a big problem with it is because they operate like a clan whenever they have another woman that can co-sign or help them deflect the conversation. And I think men are just better equipped to deal with it because we have to. Like even when it comes to dating, if you got shortcomings as a man, you're gonna be very well aware of them by the time you get to high school and all that.
Yeah.
Chicks, you ain't gonna have no mercy. You're gonna have to work around it in order to have any success. Women don't really have to address any of their issues. They always gonna get dudes that's trying to shoot at them and spend time with them and all that. So they don't, like we talk about it all the time, the skill aspect of dating. Yep. They never really develop the skills to make themselves enjoyable to date, and men are forced to do that.
But that's our fault too. You want to know why? Let me tell you why. Because during my time when I was a hoe for all them years, I never told chicks that they was wrong with nothing because I wanted to keep hitting. I didn't care that you had a bad attitude. I didn't care that you wasn't feminine. I didn't care about none of that. All I cared about was what your labias looked like. That's it.
That's
all I cared about. And since most women and them areolas, you got that right. And since most women deal with a lot of hoes out here, they not getting told really when they are wrong or need to step up or do something different. So when they finally do get with a quality man that holds their feet to the fire and say, hold on, baby, like I'm not gonna deal with this attitude like that. So they feel some type of way, whether it's online or whether it's in person. So they're not used to hearing that. You know what I mean? Whereas men, we used to being told we ain't nothing. So for a lot of us, do men still get emotional over it? Of course, there's some dudes out there that still get emotional over it. But I think, the majority of men can take it better when they get some constructive criticism that'll actually help them get women. Men will be like, okay, bet. Smart men.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's because men are performance based. You know what I'm saying? True. You think from boyhood on, like it's all about performance. A lot of our extracurriculars, the way we go about jobs, the way we talk to approach women is performance. So when you critique and shit, I was an athlete, even if you was just peewee, you got a coach like barking at you, literally like barking at you to get on your job. Your father, if he was in your life, is probably barking at you to stay on your job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say all women, I can't say that, but a lot of the women that I've dated haven't necessarily had that constant critique. So when you do give it to them, they don't know how to separate themselves from what it is that you're actually saying you don't like or that bothers you. They take it like they internalize it completely, like, oh, so you think I'm, and it's like, bro, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I think that's the flip side of the pandering though. That's like the unintended effect of the pandering. Everybody's beautiful. Every woman's desirable. All of you are great. All of you are like, all of the exes were the problem. And it's like, bro, but they buy into it hook, line, and sinker, even though it doesn't represent reality in any way whatsoever. Because all of them can think of things that they did that hurt the relationship. A lot of them, they may not have it articulated or not have a thorough breakdown like guys like us provide on our platforms. But when we talk about the things that they do that make a man that loved them at one point in time, that would have been willing to die for him, fall out of love, that's a hard conversation to have,
And Tripp, when I realized that, what you said about how they internalize it like that, this is when I really, really realized it, was when Kevin Samuels really got big. And seeing him say certain things to a specific woman, and a lot of women took that personally and put themselves in it and literally hated this man for saying things to somebody else because they put themselves in and say he hates black women or he hates big girls, or he hates this. And it's like, he wasn't talking to you. He was speaking to this specific woman about the issues she came to him with. So why internalize it? Like when you ever seen that video he did with the man, where the guy called in and he said, man, you ain't got no big wallet. You don't got a big dick. You don't got a big dick, and you, what is the woman gonna get from you? Yeah,
and you fat. Yeah.
I've never said, and I ain't hear no other men say, you know what? He can't talk to him like that. In fact, he talking to him, and he talking to all of us. I didn't see men do that. Like, it's like, hey, bro, you coming up short out here. Get your game up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Tell me I'm lying. Like, it is what it is.
That's how it is.
You don't internalize.
But that's how it is, though. Like, see, as a dude, you're just confronted with the harsh realities of dating. You can have a crush on a chick, and she come up and want to fuck your best friend. You can't do nothing to stop it. You can't. Like,
it's cold to hold the L. It's cold to hold the L. Like, it's in a man's code. If she choose the homie, you gotta hold the L, bruh.
Yep.
Yeah, because I want my homie to hit if I can't hit. Like, but I don't think a lot of women have that type of attitude towards other women, though. Like if we go somewhere, and even though I'm the married dude, I'm gonna be trying to throw some oops. I'm gonna try to bounce past y'all something. My wife's friends, they're fine. I'm inviting dudes that I know that got game to, hey, such and such is gonna be here. You need to. That's just my nature, though. I don't think women have that type of I'm trying, unless it comes to guys with money. That's when they'll try to put each other on.
They don't like them, or they don't like the dude, and they want to put their girl on or something if they don't like the guy. But if they like him, they ain't gonna do it. They want her to be better than she is. But Tripp, let me ask you a question, bro.
For sure.
So, what would you say is the biggest mistake women and men make when it comes to dating?
Not knowing themselves before they date. I think a lot of people get out there based on and go for things based on what they told, and it ends up burning them. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of folks get out there and don't necessarily know what season they in their life, don't know what they need as a person, don't know how they showing up in a relationship, and so they just out there guessing. And don't get me wrong, you got to date to refine, but the beginning of all that is knowing who you are. Like, I know, SD, a lot of times you talk about the difference between your mind state when you were in your whole phase versus when you're not, and you were aware when you were in it that you were in it. A lot of people be in different chapters of their lives and have no idea. It's like on the tour, I had a woman approach me like trying to shoot her shot sexually. I would never. She wasn't my type. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I told her no. I told her straight up no. I was like, I'm a professional. I don't fuck around when I'm on the road. I was like, I'm cool. She ended up popping up at the Q&A. Bro, this lady had just lost her husband 6 months prior to the show.
Damn.
Yeah, why are you even? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this your? And I know that's an extreme example, but that's what I mean when people really disregard who they are and what they got going on before they try to bring another person in. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the number one mistake folks make.
Yeah, but I don't know that she was trying to bring you into her heart. She
I
was
didn't
trying
want
to
to
bring
go
you
nowhere.
into her vaginal canal. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I understand completely what you're saying. But and in all seriousness, let me ask you a question. In all seriousness,
for sure,
has she been bad? I'm talking about.
I can say no, bro.
I ain't saying hitting it. But like, hey, I would like to talk to you more.
Oh yeah, no, it's been some of that. It's been some of that. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
for
sure.
Saying. If she had been your type and she just wanted to, like, hey, I would like to get to know you and not come at you sexually.
Yeah, I got a couple phone numbers while I was out. Yeah, no bigger. Okay. I ain't going front about that. Like, I just don't fuck around while I'm out there, but I rap for sure.
That's an example of what I constantly talk about, how men view the connection. Like, he's saying that he doesn't just go there without establishing the connection. Now, Tripp, if you met a chick while you was on tour in a city and you got her number and y'all kept it cool. Next time you in her city, are you smashing?
Certainly. Certainly. No,
I'm talking
undoubtedly.
now. You know what I mean?
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
If it's that, then it's definitely that. If I get her number and we vibe before I leave town,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. You feel me? Like, it just ain't gonna be no, oh yeah, she catch me after the show, she bad, I'm gonna take her back to the hotel. And you feel me? Like, nah, if I'm in town for the weekend and Friday through Saturday we have a bomb conversation, we go out for coffee Sunday, and it's a proper connection, yeah, she can catch it that weekend, undoubtedly.
Hey, man,
That's what's up.
Tripp, what's the best way for a woman to improve their dating experiences, in your opinion?
To enforce her standards. First of all, to have them and to really stand by them. Like, I think women really will look the other way if she like a dude on a lot of stuff, and then she'll ride that into the ground, or let him ride her into the ground. And, you know, as SD had mentioned earlier, end up meeting a quality man at some point in life and don't even really know how to interact. You know what I'm saying? If you would have stood for what you said you stood for and just cut that off when you understand it wasn't that, you could have saved yourself a lot of time, a lot of scarring, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like, stand on what you say you stand on.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, T.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say, I think the best way for women to actually improve, because women are great at attracting men. They know how, they know what they need to wear, they know what they need to do to get a man to shoot their shot. But a lot of women don't know how to nurture their relationship with men. And I think a lot of that has to do with how they view males and male behavior. A lot of time they're viewing the things that we say and do through a female glasses. And so everything looks so wrong and so inappropriate when a guy's just being a normal guy. And so even in a situation where a guy could be showing respect, he could be doing everything that a guy should be doing in a dating situation, a lot of women will view it as a negative thing or not enough because of just her perspective on it and the lack of understanding how men operate. So I think women that can get that understanding of how the husband material men think and operate, I think that's the key to success. What were you saying, SD?
I had did a lie the other day about dating for potential for women over 30, right? And I tell women this here all the time, and I tell men something similar. Like, when you have a set of standards, like Tripp was saying, and that's what you go by, and somebody you see they don't meet them. For a lot of women, they like men that can provide to some level, that can protect to some level, and that can lead or guide or structure a relationship and their own lives, right? That should be a telltale sign right away, like how they live in their own life and how that's structured, right? And when you see a man that's 38 years old and he hasn't structured his own life well at all, you should be walking away from that man, not compromise your standards that you have, that you want from a man in a serious relationship. Because what happens a lot of times is they compromise their standards or their requirements for a man. All right. And then they wind up falling in love with that dude that they never should have gave a shot in the first place. And now later on down the line, they get so messed up and so damaged. Now they're like, I can't be feminine no more. I got to do this. I got to do that. And now when you get to the guy that actually wants you to be feminine. He wants you to have a submissive attitude. Nah, it's too late. You too damaged. Same thing with a man. If a woman ain't feminine enough for you, don't even give her a chance for you to fall in love with her.
But see, that's the difference. Most guys, their goal ain't to get in a committed relationship. So the standard to marry a chick is way up here. To get some dick, it's way lower than that. So all you got to do is not cut them off or not ghost them to go from him asking for your number to trying to link up. So women don't have that. That's never gonna change. So
true, but that's why people that keep it real with these women and tell them these things where they messing up at, that's why those people are so important to the actual relationship conversation. To try to get them that thought process, like, man, you need to walk away. Don't change who you are as a woman. change that man out and get rid of him because he shouldn't
Yep.
be there in the first place. That's where that not the well, you're a queen and adjust your crown and you wasn't asking too much. You was just asking the wrong man. That type of stuff does nothing but keep them in neutral. It keeps them going nowhere if you aren't holding their feet to the fire for the things that they are doing wrong when it comes to dating and relationships.
And I think if just to piggyback, I think that's the fairest way that I could, or a more precise way to say what I'm saying, right? And that you need to know yourself. Like fellas, ladies, whoever, if you know you want a certain thing in somebody, bro, get that and nothing less. Because once you start taking less, the lower you go, then it's your fault. And that's the part that we always want to gloss over. That's the part that we want to act like and what you saying, like that's where the real panders are hurting these people for real. Bro, a lot of this be y'all fault. You said you wanted a certain type of individual. Homie, prove, like, don't stop before you fall in love. Stop before you even get salty. Stop before you start judging the person. Stop before you start trying to change the person. Like, bro, just like, if this ain't it, it ain't it. And that's okay. It don't mean they less than. It don't make you less than. Like, bro, and know yourself and just get what you know you supposed to have, bro. Because some of y'all doing too much on the humble, and you don't. We ain't got to go there. Some of y'all be doing too much.
I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, what do you think are the ingredients or the criteria for a man to be considered a husband material man?
I'm gonna give my opinion. I think SD hit it on the head. He should have his life structured. I think that's probably the most important part when you think about husbandry in a traditional sense. It was about lording over an estate, right? Which includes your property, you having made that property and your ventures profitable, you having a system that works in your life and you being able to plug things in that system or expand that system for somebody else. I think husband really starts, and wife for that matter, but husband starts long before you actually married to somebody. It's really a way to govern your own life. And if a man has governance over his own life, regardless of what that governance may look like, then I think that's what qualifies him to be a husband.
That was a good answer, man.
I like that one.
Should guys take IG models serious?
I think it depends on what's going on off the IG, right? And what type of modeling we talking about, because that's a big category now.
What if she got an OnlyFans on IG?
You know what's crazy, bro? Is I know a couple women that's like low key scamming on the OnlyFans. Like they hustling off of men's thirst. Like they on there and it's damn near the same things. And it's not to make an excuse, because I know that's a rare, but I don't buy enough OnlyFans to know who on there half naked and who on there, you know. Am I going to necessarily go for that type of woman? We got to have some serious conversations, right? How much of this is business and how much of this is what you really be on? Because if this is something that we can't put boundaries around as far as our private life, then yeah, we may have an issue. If you got this whole little thing under control, you just showing feet on the internet or some shit like that, hey,
some anonymous,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You feel me? Like, hey, I can vibe with that. Send me the pictures first. I'll curate the shit out of that. I'm gonna get you some money. I would like to subscribe to that. I'm gonna sell this shit my damn self. So
if you
go ahead.
Yeah, if you shoving a double destroyer up your booty hole, no, sweetheart.
Because what about me? Where do we go now?
Oh man, I ain't doing it, because you know what's crazy? I remember when Kanye asked Kim to not post sexy pictures on one of them episodes. He was like, "I'm your husband. It make me feel some type of way." She said, "I was doing this when you met me." So I'm not gonna try to change no woman. Like, this is what you do. And I'm not gonna get with you trying to change who you are, because a lot of people revert back to exactly who they was at some point, whether they sneak into it or whether they do it in your face. So I'm not trying to change no woman. I want my woman to be a freak for me. I want her to be OnlyFans for me. If she's showing her feet, I can roll with that. Like you said, whatever, show your feet, walk in your shoes, whatever these, crush some bananas, whatever these fools want to see, right? Like, cool. But once you go past that, and now you got lingerie with your titties showing and all that, like, I can't roll with you. It's all good. I like your titties, but I can't take you to my mama house. And my daddy be like, hey, that's cinnamon.
Hey, I mean, to me, the thing about the IG models, right? I don't think it's necessary. Like, a lot of them are probably cool chicks that could be okay moms, but a woman that is that addicted to attention and lust that she compromises her personal, like you said, the blur the lines between what's private and what's not, because it's not normal for a woman to just show the world her and her panties and her thong. I'm from an era where you had to be fucking a chick or at a strip club to see a woman in her panties and bra. Like, but these days, women will just be going live talking about doing an ad in their panties and bra, whatnot. Like, I couldn't date a woman that operated like that. Like you just we out here playing cards with my homies. You just gonna walk out in your panties? Like,
nah, that's a different type of. We got an immediate problem. We got an immediate problem because now that if you did that to me, you might as well stay out here because we broke up. You're not my girl no more.
You back out there for the streets.
It's wild. Like, why the homies here? Like, bro, what you doing?
That shows the level of respect she has for the relationship in general.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, and it's over. So you clearly showed me like it's not for the bedroom. Like it's over with. Let them see it now.
Yeah. But see, when we have these conversations, right, women will rebut with, but men are the ones liking the pictures and men are the ones following.
Oh, yes. They don't like it.
Men like ass twerking, especially if you're doing it with one of the hottest songs. All those things are hitting a lot of different points for men, but that's very different than how a man wants his woman to represent him.
I'll say
I'm gonna like that out the shit.
I'm a little more liberal in this department, I would say, but I mean, I think even still, it does somehow become offensive to women when men start to outline what we not going for. I know I got cheers because I was willing to go a couple things past, like, but it's like, nah, bro, I still got my limits too.
Right.
You know, just because I say I'm cool with a woman having a past don't mean I'm cool with a woman that's a hoe now. Yeah. That I'm cool with a woman that's wilding now. Like, and I know like the way clips got chopped up, it kind of presented shit that way. And it's like, nah, bro, I'm cool with a woman that used to fuck around because I used to fuck around. I'm cool with a woman who used to be somebody because I used to, exactly. And I'm not like that. Like, if you got your bodies from college or you was just a hoe for your ex-husband, I'm okay with that because I'm a nasty dude and I like you to be nasty when you get to the table. But for you to just be out here publicly, you know, again, because like you saying, some people are addicted to that. And that's where I would have an issue because this is a problem up here now. And if I try to express concern, it is going to be a Kim K and Kanye situation where you like, I've been like this. And now I got to look at myself like, damn. Yeah. She right.
Let me ask you this though, Tripp. Let me ask you this, because I just seen this here. One of the singers from 3LW, I think. I don't know if y'all seen it. Yeah. Right?
No, I didn't see it.
Married.
Oh,
Let's say you got a girl, right? You know, hey, baby, you got a pass, I got a pass, whatever. You're not asking, right? You're not asking how many bodies she got or none of that. Is that a fair assumption?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So let's just say you find out she had a train ran on her, or she volunteered this information online. You find out she had 5 dudes that ran a train. You still staying with her?
It depends on where we at, but I'm gonna be honest. For me, the issue wasn't that you got down like that. It's that you, for some reason, found it necessary. Nah, you ain't had to tell me that shit. Why'd you tell everybody else though?
Wow, okay.
That's my issue. Why'd you tell everybody else?
Yeah, that girl married, and she just
that's
said,
what I'm saying.
I had the dudes from B2K ran a train on me. Like, what? What do you
it ain't just that, because we not boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm your actual ass husband. We got business together, motherfucker. Like, why would you up and say some shit like that? Who was that for?
Man,
What was that going?
People don't be having a
Not
censor on what they reveal to social media.
Not
man.
now.
Not
Look,
at all.
These chicks talking about they like getting peed on and they
all kind of crazy.
The one chick
That's
said
so
she
crazy.
had 2,000 bodies and they had trains ran on them and all that. Like they telling everything now for clout.
Yep.
It's crazy, man.
Hey, 2,000 bodies is insane. She was doing wilt numbers.
That word.
Not hard for a woman, man.
I don't want nothing to do with it.
Question for you, Tripp. What advice do you have for the fellas that's out here struggling with women here?
Get you together, bro.
Yeah.
If you pursuing your purpose, then the woman that's supposed to help you fulfill that and you help her fulfill hers is going to be assigned to you when you doing your work. I'm not one of them women are only a distraction thing, but if you pursuing women over your purpose, then they've already become a distraction for you. So get you together, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's always the fundamental key to having success with women. Yep. Guys that you mentioned it earlier, Tripp, like you said, guys that are husbands, they start that process a lot earlier than that. And I'd say that it starts even as teenagers. The behaviors, the mentality, the responsibility level, all the things that it takes to actually for a man to actually run a household and be the head of a household. You can spot those in a teenager. You could spot a teenager that's going to be a great dad and a great father when he becomes older by how he moves in high school. His mentality as far as money and responsibility. So those are the things that it takes for you to actually have success with women. Because if you start making money and women can see that you can provide the lifestyle that they want to be a part of, that's where a large part of your success comes as a man.
That's right.
All right, man. Look like we up against the clock. Before we get up out of here, Tripp, man, I want to. Can you let everybody know where they can find your content, etc.?
For sure. Again, it's Tripp Fontane, man. I'm on all social sites. TrippFontane. If you're interested in any content, man, I got a newsletter called The Entry Point. Book coming out February the 17th, a ghetto called Eden. That link is in my bio on Instagram. Holla at your boy.
All right, that's what's up, man. Before we get up out of here, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background audio. I want to remind y'all to continue to support the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up with me so we can get another episode knocked out. And Tripp, man, we definitely got to have you back on again, man. We really love the conversation. And we appreciate you taking the time out, man.
For sure. Thank you.
This has been another episode of the Hold a Husband podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.